Alright, good afternoon everybody. Can you see me and hear me clearly po? Nakikita po ba si teacher?
Yes,
Afternoon po,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes
good
po, ma'am.
afternoon. Okay, so
Yes,
again,
ma'am.
hello students and welcome back to our class. This is Free 121 Intro to Philippine Criminal Justice System, and this is Miss Malaya teaching. So, students, today we will have to discuss the week 4 to 5 because tapos na natin ma-discuss yung ating week 1 to 3. So, your examinations again will be this Friday on dated February 4, 2022. So I have sent my instructions, my reminders, and all of the instructions that will be needed for you to answer the first examination. So just wait on your Quipper so that you can access that one, no. So individually kinahanglan niyo siya tanawon para makabalo mo sa atong pamaagi sa examination. So this week mag-start na ta og sugod sa ato ang week 4 to 5 na klase kay para dili na ta maiwit and makasunod ta sa schedule for the second examination. Okay? So this is the first part. But before we start, let us have Kyla Montoya to please lead the prayer for this afternoon. Okay? Andito ba si Miss Kyla?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead po.
Okay, so let us pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, thank you for this wonderful day that you have given to us. Please give us knowledge and wisdom. And as we start our class this afternoon, please guide us, Lord. And thank you for all of your blessings. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Alright, thank you for that, student Kyla. So without further ado, let me share my first slide for everybody. So we have here now the learning outcomes. So we have here we must learn, no, by the end of the discussion or by the end of the week 4 to 5, no, we will have to know or we will have the knowledge about the prosecution in the Philippines, no ba. So in line with this, no, na-discuss naman ako tong prosecution, but we will further expound the knowledge, no, that we know about the prosecution, no, and as well as, no, what's the importance of the judiciary, the courts, no, the jurisdiction or katong mga nasa court pillar, no. So we will have to discuss those one, no, for the week 4 to 5. So you can see also this on your syllabus and your sim that I've provided, no. So naa na siya dito, makita pag gihapon ninyo na siya. So I just flash it on the screen so that you will have prior knowledge on what are we going to learn sa ato ang week 4 to 5. Okay? Sige, let's proceed. We have your prosecution again, no? It is the process or method whereby accusations are brought before the court of justice to determine the guilt or innocence of the accused. What does it mean? So again, no, si prosecution, siya ang magtanaw or magbana-bana kung katubang mga pasaka dito ang mga reklamo sa iyaha, pwede ba to siya mamahimo nga buhaton og kaso para mapasaka kay court. Again, kapila gani nga pillar si prosecution, students? Kapila gani? Kapila gani siya nga pillar?
Ito ma'am.
Okay, ikapila?
Duha, ma'am. Kaduha.
Ikaduha.
Duha po.
Ikaduha.
Ito ma'am.
Ikaduha. Okay. Sige daw, be. Kung sa itong pinaka-first one?
Law enforcement.
Enforcement.
Okay, the second one? Okay, second one?
Prosecution.
Yes. Ang third one?
Judiciary.
Yes. The fourth
Penology and
one?
immunity.
And the last one is?
Penology.
Very good. So do not forget that,
Community.
ha? Very good, students, no? So just a refresher for everybody nga dili makalimot kung unsa ang 5 pillars sa criminal justice system, no? Kay pasunod man gid na siya, dili na siya ingon nga maglaktaw-laktaw ta or ato ang unahon ang court bago si law enforcement, no? Dili pwede. kinahanglan masulod na to siya kay syempre it is a machinery, it is a tool. There are certain steps that we must follow, and then it should be adhered properly kay para mahatag nato ang sakto nga criminal justice system sa usa ka tao nga nakasala. Again, the criminal justice system evolves primarily on the suspect, no? So, on your on the side of the victim, okay, naapo na siya kanang separate nga kanang system na agi ano kay naman mo separate po the subject about victimology, so you will also discuss and that will be also further expounded on your next teacher for that subject, no? So for us here sa atong CRE 121, you'll just learn the basics of the 5 pillars, no? So let's again go back to the prosecution, no? Again, if there are accusations, okay, pag makita ni prosecutor then na ata ginatawag na probable cause, then we will try to bring up to the court to make it as a case. Now, so kung wala gani to'y klaro ang mga ebidensya nga gihatag or wala tay mga sakto nga ebidensya nga gi-provide sa atuan ni investigator, so probably dili gid na mapasaka ang kaso, no? So let's proceed. So we have your prosecutor. So again, the prosecutor, siya ang magbana-bana. Ang tawag sa nagtrabaho sa prosecution, si prosecutor, no? Who assumes the folder's discretion and control over criminal cases in the administration of justice and represent the government or the people of the Philippines in the criminal proceedings in the court of law. So, mao na siya ang magbana-bana, si prosecutor. Okay? So, we have here beyond reasonable doubt, no? It is the degree of proof which offers to the whole facts and produces moral certainty in an unprejudiced mind of the culpability of the accused person, di ba? Palaging binimension ni teacher na you are guilty beyond reasonable doubt, no? Wala dyo'y pagduha-duha, no? So, beyond reasonable doubt, no? Maskin unsa pa na siya, no? Bugat kayo ang ebidensya nga mauwi makapaingon nga maprisog yun ka. Okay? So, kompleto na atong mga facts, all the evidences, gihanay na. Okay, again, si prosecutor po, siya ang magbana-bana sa kaso. Si judge, mauna ang naa sa court. Mauna yung mugdukdok sa, usa ganitong pangdukdok, tay tawag ato. Ako ano to siyang gi-mention last time? That is what we call as sa tawag atong pandukdok. Hala, nakalimot na sila.
Wooden hammer.
Again?
Wooden hammer.
No, that is what we call as gavel. Do not forget that, ha? So again, si judge mo na siya ang maghatol og you are guilty beyond reasonable doubt sa korte. Si prosecutor maunay magbana-bana sa kaso para mapasaka ba na siya or dili siya mapasaka. So ang mo declare aning beyond reasonable doubt, you are guilty beyond reasonable doubt for the case of murder, no? So ana si judge na siya, okay? So do not ayaw mo kalibog sa prosecutor o sa judge, no? Kay given na siya kaayo, magsige na ta og balik-balik ana from the very beginning of our lesson, okay? So we have here naman plaintiff, the person who brings an action in a court of law. And information in an accusation in writing charging a person with an offense subscribed by the fiscal and filed with the court, no? So pagka mo tawag ana, no, kung magpakaso mo or magpasaka mo kaso, information ang tawag ana niya, okay? So, prima facie evidence or prima facie evidence denotes evidences which is if unexplained or uncontradicted is sufficient to sustain the proposition it supports or to establish the facts as to counterbalance the presumption of innocence to warrant a conviction. So, we have here naman complaint. It is a sworn written statement charging a person with an offense subscribed by the offended party, any peace officer or public officer charged with the enforcement of law violated. Okay? Let's have naman mandamus. This is a writ of the higher court ordering the performance of public duty. So again no, prima facie evidence tapos na kanina. Okay, accused, presumption of innocence. So always do not forget this in mind that when there is a suspect that you have apprehended, damoy ginakop, dili ganina siya pwede ingnon nga ikaw gyud ang kriminal, ikaw gyud ang tanto nga nagpatay aning tawhana or ikaw gyud ang tanto nga tawo nga nag-rape ani. Dili, no? It is the right of the accused which is founded on the principle of justice and it is intended not to protect the guilty but to present as human agencies can exercise its power the conviction of an innocent person. Dili pwede nga imo na siyang ingnon nga siya na gyud ang kriminal dayon. Again, no, we must presume everyone or every suspect that the police officers have apprehended, it is because dili na sila guilty dayon sa ilahang kaso. Muagi pa na sila og due process which we call as the Philippine Criminal Justice System katong 5 pillars. Pag moingon na gina si court nga you are guilty beyond reasonable doubt, then that's the time nga ato na siyang matawag nga kriminal or convicted person or ato ang newly term karon sa convicted person is the PDL or persons deprived of liberty. Please remember the terminologies that I have said. It's because dili na ko magbalik-balik ana, okay? We have here the Philippine prosecution system. So, this one I have already discussed this to you last time, but let me just refresh no everybody. So, we have adversarial. It is a system of prosecution otherwise known as an accusatorial which is being adopted by most countries who have common laws whereby the victim or his representative have the primary responsibility for finding and presenting evidence to the court. The judge listens to the accusation and determines the applicable punishment to the accused. So, mo ni ang ginagamit sa ato adversarial kanang normal nga makita ninyo nga kung magpasaka og kaso, tan-awon nito ni judge kung sakto bang ebidensya, bana-banaon niya ang ebidensya sa ato ang plaintiff, ang ebidensya sa ato ang defendant, no? So ana na siya. Kaya tan-awon niya kung sakto bang ebidensya, then that's the time nga tagaan niyang final verdict. Kung dili sakto ang ebidensya, then mangita pag evidence and then retrial na pod, no? So ingon ana. So we have here also inquisitorial. So ano ang inquisitorial? This is used in some continental countries wherein the judge searches the facts, listens to witnesses be taken, and investigate to prove the guilt or innocence of the accused. So diri apo daw, 'di ba? Kaganina kay ang mag-search man dinhi kay si prosecutor, 'di ba? Kay bago niya ipasaka ang kaso, iyahang tan-awon sa niya kung bugat ba para mapasaka ang case. Now, diri sa inquisitorial, baliktad siya. Si judge ang mangita sa mga facts, mga ebidensya, and then siya pud ang mangita sa mga witnesses, no? Yang atubangon, and then mag-investigate siya, and then tanawon niya if it is guilty or not guilty. So we have here naman the mixed system. Okay, do you have a query? Okay, so we have here the mixed system naman po. Okay, it adopts the inquisitorial and accusatorial where the victim or his representatives provides the facts, the evidence, and testimony of witness to prove the guilt of the accused. So the judge will investigate and determine the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt and its normal certainty. Okay? So we have here naman the general functions of the prosecutor. So let's have a student who would like to volunteer. Anyone? Volunteer? Who would like to volunteer to read? Okay, if not, okay, CJ Quinzel, Andrea. Okay, please read po.
Investigate administrative charges against fiscals and other prosecution officers. Conduct the investigation and prosecution of all crimes. Prepare legal opinions and on queries involving violation of the revised penal code and special penal laws. Review appeals for the resolutions of the fiscal and other prosecuting officers in connection with criminal cases by them.
Alright, thank you very much for that, student, no? Okay, we have here unsa daw ang mga functions si prosecutor, no? It's not just kanang magbanabana lang siya sa mga ebidensya para mapasaka kung nabay probable cause, no? He or she or the prosecutors will also try to investigate, no, administrative charges against fiscals and other prosecution officers. Syempre, pag na mga katiwalaan, it's because some of the prosecutors pwede lang mabayran, no, bribery. So kung ang isa ka prosecutor, no, dili niya or kanang fiscal, kasi ang fiscal it's more of kanang mga taxes, mga kanang mga evasion nga mga cases. Ang prosecutors usually sa mga criminal cases kida sila mag-handle, no. Again, ang fiscal more of mga taxes na ilang ginahandle nga mga kaso kanang mga kwarta ba, kanang mga fraud, ana bang kanang sa mga businesses or mga monetary. Ang sa prosecution, usually mga criminal yun na siya nga mga cases. No? That's the difference between the fiscal and prosecutors. Now, yes. So, anong mangyayari sa kanila is that some of those, no, administrative charges are being filed against them, it's because wala nila gibuhat ilang duty og tarong. Maybe some of the prosecutors or the fiscal, wala sila nagtarong og tan-aw sa ebidensya. It's because, for example, naanay ka ng ebidensya sa investigator o niya, ang katong nakasala, ang suspect, iyahang gitagaan og datong. Siguro gitagaan niya lechon baboy, gitagaan ba niya og 10K worth of grocery. No, some of those are kanang not good, no? Kay dili gyud na siya pwede when it comes to having your public duty, no? As a prosecutor pa jud, syempre kanang relevant kay imong duty, it is because ikaw jud ang makapatuman yun sa pagpasaka sa kaso. Now, if you do not work properly, then what will happen is that dili gid mapasaka ang kaso. Okay? So as well as, no, katong mga crimes and as well as syempre, legal opinions, no, sa part sa atong prosecutor, it's because all prosecutors are lawyers. Dili ka pwede ma-prosecutor if you're not a lawyer or you are not a bar passer. It's because you have you have to have the knowledge of the law of the Philippines. It's because that is your primary duty. Unsaon mo pagpasaka sa kaso if ikaw mismo as a prosecutor wala ka nakabalo sa balaod, no? So they will try to give their kanang opinions about that because they are primarily very expert on that field, no, as well as review appeals of the resolutions, no, in connection to criminal cases, no. So let's have to proceed po. So again, any volunteer po to read the presentation? Yes, Angel, Margaret.
Specific functions of regional state prosecutors. Implement policies, plans, programs, memoranda, orders, circular and rules and regulation of the Department of Justice relative to the investigation and prosecution of criminal cases in its regions. Exercise immediate administrative supervision over all provincial and city prosecutors and other prosecuting officers of provinces and cities comprised within its region. Prosecute any case arising in the region.
Alright, thank you very much for that, student, no. So I do believe that some of these are kanang familiar sa inyo ha, and some of you do not have the familiarity of this one. Now, it's because, no, the specific functions also of our regional state prosecutor, syempre they are assigned regionally. Syempre we are subdivided into regions, no, the whole Philippines. So they have a specific duty as a regional state prosecutor or prosecutors, no, to implement policies, plans, programs, syempre in line with the DOJ because they are under the Department of Justice in relation to prosecution of criminal cases and its regions. So kasi naman iba-iba yung cases, no? Peculiar yung cases or unique yung cases sa matag region. So some of the regions, no, rampant ang sa ilaha ang rape, some of the regions rampant sa ilaha ang theft or robbery, and some of the regions very rampant din ang homicide, no, or killings. It's because magdepende man pud na siya sa location, sa lugar, no, sa ginapangyarihan sa crime. So you have a subject that you will be encountering in your higher years, which is the crime mapping, no. So that is a very good subject. It's because you will learn how to find the hotspot of the specific crimes na mahitabo sa usa ka lugar or city or province, no. So you you will go that on your higher years. But for this one again, no, they will try to uh, implement policies and plans, ilahan ng pangplano kung sa ilahang buhaton. And we also have here, no, exercise immediate supervision or administrative supervision all over the provincial and city prosecutors, because region is higher than provincial and city. So when there are compromises within the city prosecutors, no, that could be on specifically attracted to the duty of our regional state prosecutors, no? So, syempre, when there are case arising the region, no, it is also the prerogative of our regional state prosecutors to do their duty, okay? Kaya syempre, regionally man siya na arise nga problem, then it should be regionally approached pod with our regional state prosecutors. Okay, let's have the next one. Who wants to read? Any volunteer? Yes, Traya April Rose.
With respect to the regional office and the other offices of the provincial and city prosecutor within its region and regional state prosecutor shall appoint such number of subordinate officers and employees, investigate administrative complaints against prosecutors and other prosecuting offices, investigate administrative complaints against subordinates, negotiate and conclude contracts for services or for furnishing supplies, materials, and equipment.
All right, thank you very much. No, in continuation with the last slide that we had, no, syempre, there are some of kanang mga needs, no, sa ato ang mga provincial at saka city na mga prosecutors, no. So, we have here, no, to appoint the number and subordinate of officers and employees. Syempre, they will hire, no, regionally, who will be the one to be assigned on the specific nga prosecutor office for the city of Tagum, city of Panabo, no, or anywhere in their specific region nga naapil ka ang region. And as well as, again, no, investigate, they have the prerogative to investigate the complaints against prosecutors who do not do their job properly. No, some of the prosecutors kasi do not read the evidences, or if they wanted you to, if you want them to properly do their job, maybe they ask for a monetary nga kanang kwarta, monetary reward, or maybe kanang food nga ilahang gusto, no. It's also kanang some of the prosecutors kay kapuyag trabaho ani, oy gutuma, oy Jollibee, no. Some of them are like that. So when cases like that happen, no, on the city or provincial prosecutor office, no, or prosecutor's office, no. So pag may nagreklamo sa kanila, diretso talaga yan sa regional state prosecutor kung saan naka-assign. Pag dili makaya ni regional, then we have the higher ones, no. So we also have again here, no, complaint against subordinates. What do you mean by subordinates? Yung mga kauban nila sa trabaho. Basig kanang nahibalaan na kanang ingani ng ngotong or what, or bribery ba, no. So they will try to investigate those ones because those are administrative complaints, no? Or maybe absences, or maybe during hearing absent siya, no. And as well as, no, furnishing of the supplies, kasi nga it's not just about having to look at the evidences that are thrown to them, but as well as napuda sila yung mga needs like staplers, scotch tape, gunting, folders, no? And as well as mga equipments. Syempre, you're trying to do a job that's very highly maintenance, no? As a prosecutor, it's because kinahanglan so nimo na nga tarungon og tanaw ang ebidensya. If na kay mishap, then that will be on your part, no? Syempre, pag di ka magtarong sa imong duty, that is misfeasance. So, some of those, no, kinahanglan na siya i-tanawon, i-overlook ni Regional State Prosecutor. Okay? So we also have here, no, the last one, coordinate with regional offices and other departments with the bureaus or agencies under the DOJ and with local governments and police and the region. So dili pwede nga ila-ila lang pod nun na maki-coordinate na sila into other agencies. It's because all the agencies in the Philippines, especially the government ones, are really interconnected with one another. It's because when there are some of kanang gina-prosecute nila nga mga cases, so, syempre, magagikan man na siya sa law enforcement. So, the law enforcement is from a government agency, which is the PNP, under the DILG, and so much, and with that, no, uh, they need to counteract with all those other government agencies or bureaus, no, within the region. Okay. So we have also here, no, the specific duties and functions of the provincial and city prosecutors. Okay, any volunteer who would like to read? Yes, Ruth Radolph Nunez, go ahead.
Specific duties and functions of the provincial and city prosecutors. Be the law officer of the province or city as the case may be. He shall be in charge of the prosecution of all crimes, misdemeanor, and violation of city or municipal ordinances in the ports or such province or city and shall therein discharge all the duties incident to the institution of criminal prosecution.
All right, thank you for that, no, student. So, okay, so be the law officer of the province or city as the case may be. So, if there are some police officers, no, or some provincial or city prosecutors that are not handling their duty well, no, so provincially and citily, no, dili na siya dayon maabot sa regional if dili kay dako ang case, no. So, within the boundaries of the provincial and city prosecutors, no, if they have the power to discharge the personnel who are in charge with that specific criminal prosecution, then they shall do their duty. No? Pag di na jud makaya, then pasaka sa regional. No? So, ana na siya, dili dayon ingon nga mutugan din ka to hire na prosecutor office, na dili niya siya ma-solve on your own. So, you need to do your job, no, nga, katong, kung na mga violations or kanang mga wala gi-follow, then you should do that as a provincial and city prosecutor. Pag nakita ninyo si police officer, wala niya gitarong o ganang handle ang case. So, pwede ninyo ipa-discharge siya anang akaso and then ipa-assign na po ninyo og lain nga police officer, no? That's one of their duties. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, any volunteers that would like to read? Yes, Erlene, go ahead. Nandito ba si Erlene? Wala. Okay, let's have Vincent Relacion. Go ahead. Okay, let's have Vincent Relacion na lang instead of the other student.
Investigate and or cause to be investigated all charges of crimes, misdemeanors, and violations of all penal laws and ordinances within their respective jurisdiction and have necessary information or complaint prepared or made against the persons accused in the conduct of such investigation. He or his assistant shall recline the sworn statements or take all evidences of witness summoned by subpoena for the purpose.
Thank you very much for that, student. Now, 'di ba, ang main duty man gyud ni prosecutor, 'di ba, is to investigate the crimes, no? Syempre, depende man gud na sa jurisdiction. For example, ang iyahang kaso kay nahitabo sa Tagum City. Now, Tagum City is under the province of Davao del Norte, 'di ba? And Tagum City is a city itself. So, it could be pwede nimo ipasaka ang kaso sa Tagum City kung nahitabo siya sa Tagum City. Pwede po sa province or sa provincial prosecutor, magdepende na kung asa nimo gusto. Basta kay, for example, if ang municipality, no, of Asuncion, for example, no, or municipal ba Asuncion or city na? Unsa man? Everybody.
Municipal po, ma'am.
Yes, municipality pa no. So if kanang municipality sa Asuncion, for example, wala pa sila prosecutor dito ang prosecutor's office, so anong mangyayari? Dito siya ipasaka sa province of Davao del Norte or Provincial Prosecutor of Davao del Norte. Ganyan yan. Kasi nga, not all municipalities na siya ginatawag nga prosecutor's office. So, directly dito gid na siya automatically ma-file ang or dito na sila magpa-file og case sa Provincial Prosecutor of Davao del Norte. Now, ang City of Tagum is an independent city naman jud na siya but under the province of Davao del Norte. It's either again pwede sa City Prosecutor, Tagum City Prosecutor ipasaka ang kaso or sa Provincial Prosecutor of Davao del Norte. Magdepende na siya. No? So, for example, nahitabo ang krimen sa Davao City. So, dili man sa under sa province sa Davao del Norte, dili po sa under sa mga cities sa Davao del Norte. So, dili ta pwede mo handle sa kaso sa Davao. Dili na siya pwede ingon ana. Okay? So, syempre, dito gud mo na ipasaka sa Davao City Prosecutor's Office kay dito man nahitabo. So ang kato lang under sa jurisdiction sa Tagum City or sa Davao del Norte ang ato ang i-hold nga mga kaso. Dili pwede nga dito ta magpa-file og kaso. Okay? So as well as si prosecution again iya pud na siyang i-gather ang mga necessary informations or complaint no gi-prepare against the person accused. Iya man jud ang basahon mo magid ang primary duty ni prosecutor nga tan-awon tong mga sworn statement sa witness kung sakto ba no mga katong mga complaint nila no kung tama ba tong tao nga ilahang nakita or ang katong suspect no so nga po na duty ni prosecutor dili lang kay ingon nga igo lang jud niya tan-awon no iyagid na siyang kumbaga iyagid ng ukayon ug maayo ang gihatag sa iyaha. No? So, as well as, syempre, naging na mga sworn statements or nanumpa ka nga mga statements no, sa mga atong witnesses nga kanang ato silang isomon sa subpoena para in times nga magpatawag si judge nga naay ka ng trial, makaadto gyud ang mga witness nato. Ana na siya, no? Dili sila makabalibad kay syempre ang korte na gyud nagpatawag sa imuhaan na, di ba? So, that's one of the duties of our provincial and city prosecutors. Okay, another one. Yes, Marlo Mones, go ahead.
Investigate commission of criminal acts, and take active part in gathering of relevant evidences. For this purpose, the NBI, PNP, and other offices and agencies of the government shall extend to him the necessary assistance.
All right, thank you very much for that, student. Now, syempre, they are having this part, no, as a prosecutor, nga ang primary duty nila is communicate po to other agencies. Kay, dili man na sila maka-stand alone, labi na kay criminal case atong ginakuan diri ginahisgutan, no? Pag kana ganing prosecutor, di na sila basta-basta maka-barge in lang gyud sa kanang mga crime scene or sa asa ba nga pwede na to makuha og evidence. Now, kinahanglan na nila makikoordinate sa NBI, sa PNP, or any other offices na related sa kaso. No, for example, syempre if there are kanang rape sa PNP ma-assign, no, and then naman gid tay kanang WCPD or Women's and Children's Desk. So kana sila, ang kanang WCPD, sila ang ma-assign when there are cases like rape or kanang mga VAUSI nga relating sa women and children. So ilaha na ma-assign. So makig-coordinate ta sa ilaha kay syempre si prosecutor it's either kung babae siya or lalaki, no, kanang mga siya tabang sa PNP nga WCPD nga naka-assign sa rape cases, no, kay dili man pud na siya diretso nga makapatawag sa mga katong for example katong na rape as witness, no, syempre siya gid mismo sa iyang kaugalingon ang witness sa crime. So victim siya sa rape, no. So makig-coordinate na siya dito no. So kay as well as si NBI or PNP and all other government agencies makig-coordinate pud na sila kay prosecutor para syempre ang main point man gid nila o ang main goal man gid nila dinhi di ba? Atuang mapasak-an og kaso si suspect, no? So, syempre, intercoordination pod na sila to other government agencies, no? So, kani si PNP when they handle rape cases sa babae gid na nga pulis ihatag sa WCPD, dili pwede nga lalaki ang handle ano o mga bata po kay because that is a very kanang confidential issue, no? So, kanang kung mag-interview pod si prosecutor, syempre witness gud na siya sa crime nga rape, no. Kuhaon niya dito ang mga atuang yang sworn statements and all, kauban ang iyang lawyer, kauban ang WCPD, no. So syempre dili pud basta-basta nga iya lang tawagan tong na rape or katong gi-rape nga babae, no, paato niyang prosecutor's office nga, "Uy, alis sa diri ako kay nako interview sa imo." Dili. Iyang tawagan tong police officer or sa PNP station kung asa na-assign ang kaso, and then sila na ang taga-police na ang siguro or taga DSWD na ang mag-assist para makapaadto sa prosecutor for the formalities of the papers, no, which will be filed, no, para sa papasaka og kaso sa court. Okay? Let's proceed. Okay, volunteer po. Yes, Erlene Nalumida.
Assist, yes po ma'am. Assist the Solicitor General so with deputies in public interest in the performance of any functions of the discharge of any duty incumbent upon the lottery within the territorial jurisdiction of the former, in which cases shall be under the control of supervision of the Solicitor General with regard to the conduct of proceeding assigned to him and doing the report thereon.
Alright, thank you very much. So, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, if kana bitang naay kanang ma-assign sa ilahang nga kaso, which is dili dapat siya dito ay i-raise nga kaso sa specific nga prosecutor office, ilaha nang ipasa kay Solicitor General. Siya na ang mag-assign ana kung asa niya specifically i-assign nga prosecution in line sa jurisdiction sa kaso. Okay? So next, okay, let's have a volunteer who would like to read. Yes, Giselle Daben, go ahead.
The prosecution process. The prosecution of crimes committed shall be determined by the prosecutor to what court has the jurisdiction over the offense committed. For crimes committed which carries 6 years of imprisonment or below, the complainant may file the complaint directly to the court that has jurisdiction over it, such as municipal trial courts and municipal circuit trial court or the prosecutor's office. However, for metropolitan cities and chartered cities, the complaint may be filed only with the office of the prosecutor.
Thank you very much for that, student. Now, we have here, if naday mga cases, no, or katong crimes, no, nga, ang iyahang kuan daw, ang iyahang case, no, nga, iyang kaso, kay mapreso siya og 6 years, no, or below, pwede siya ma-file ang complaint sa MTC or MCTC, or kung dili niya ma-file sa Municipal Trial Court or Municipal Circuit Trial Court, pwede na sa Prosecutor's Office. Now, kadto mga metropolitan cities at saka mga chartered cities, ano sila? Katong nasa NCR, katong mga nasa Luzon, no? Mga chartered cities. Kay i-file gid nila ang case sa Office of the Prosecutor. Okay? Kaysa kagaya ng sinabi ko, not all municipalities have a prosecutor's office. So, pwede ra ka sa Municipal Trial Court mag-file or Municipal Circuit Trial Court, no, or sa prosecutor's office kung available sa inyong specific na municipality. Okay? Okay, next one, please read. Yes, Peter Tantoy, go ahead.
For offenses falling under the jurisdiction of the regional trial court, such as rape, murder, homicide, or has a penalty above 6 years, complaint, the filing of complaint must be in the prosecutor office for the purpose of conducting primary investigation.
Alright, thank you very much for that, student. Now, if ang kaso daw above 6 years, no, so, tapos ang na-jurisdiction, jud ana is under RTC, yun na siya automatically because that is kanang bugat ng mga kaso. So, kana siya, ang complaint na to, it should be automatically filed sa prosecutor's office. It's because kinahanglan na ta mag-conduct dari og preliminary investigation, no? Okay, let's proceed to the next one. Okay, any volunteer? Yes, Alvin Benito.
It is an informal and summary investigation conducted by a public prosecution in criminal case involving persons arrested and detained without the benefit of a warrant or arrest issued by the court for the purpose of determining whether or not the said person should remain under custody and correspondingly be charged in court.
Thank you very much for that, student. Now, inquest. Now, kato ni siya, ma-inquest tong mga tao nga na caught in the act or in flagrante delicto. It's because wala na sila ginatawag na warrant of arrest or katong gihatag ni court nga pangitaon ng specific nga tao sa specific nga balay or lugar, no? Kay para dadun sa korte o gihain or i-file ang kaso sa iyahan. Now, kani siya, usually mga public arrest na sila katong mga nadakpan nga kanang on the spot nga nang lungkab or on the spot na ngawat, no? So, kani sila, ang ginabuhat sa ilahani, informal and summary investigation. So, investigahan dayon ni sila, walang patumpik-tumpik sa usa ka public prosecutor, no? So, ang mangyayari sa kanila, i-determine nila kung naabay probable cause automatically on the spot, no? Kung kana nga tao or suspect, no? Atua ba na siyang i-remain under custody? Ato ba na siyang ipastay din haa? Or ato na siyang idiretsuhan og charge nga it's either robbery or theft basta na caught in the act. Okay? Again, inquest, summary investigation na siya. Okay, let's proceed to the next one. Okay, volunteer. Yes, Jessel Daben.
Preliminary investigation, defined as an inquiry or proceeding for the purpose of determining whether there is sufficient ground to engender a well-founded belief that a crime cognizable by the regional trial court has been committed and that the respondent is probably guilty, thereof, and should be held for trial.
Thank you very much, student. So, kanina, summary investigation. Meaning sa summary, pinadalian. Now, here, preliminary investigation. Proper gid siya nga proceeding in which we must determine if natay sufficient ground, no, sa katong gi-commit nga crime ni suspect. O, kung ato ba na siyang tanawon nga basig probably nga guilty gid siya or dili. And then if probably na ay kanang reason nga kanang guilty siya or naay probable nga reason, dako nga reason nga naay probable cause para mapasaka ang kaso, then naatay trial nga tabuon. Okay? Okay, this one, the preliminary investigation will only commence upon the filing of complaint of affidavit by the victim. No? So, kaganina summary investigation, wala pa nagreklamo sa iyaha. It's because caught in the act. No? Sa preliminary investigation, di ni siya ma-held unless na ay mag-file nga affidavit sa atoang gikan kay police officer human to the fiscal or prosecutor's office. Now, si prosecutor, siya ang mo conduct sa preliminary investigation. Kung naabay prima facie evidence, again, ang prima facie evidence can stand kung dili siya i-rebut. Okay? Now, in the conduct of the preliminary investigation, the prosecutor will subpoena the suspect to submit its counter affidavit of evidence to answer the allegation against him within 10 days. So, dire ana. Na anong mangyayari is that, di ba, nag-file na og complaint si biktima dito kay police officer niya. Si police officer, nag-gather na po siya mga ebidensya and then gihatag niya kay prosecutor. Na si prosecutor, para matanawan niya ang kaso, okay, if kanang pwede ba na siya papasaka sa court, iyang kwaon sa daan ang side ni kinsaman ni suspect, no? Ang ginatawag na counter affidavit, no? Tanaw niya para tubagon niya ang allegation, di ba? Ang uban matingala mo hugi sa pinahan ako sa korte, no? For good for 10 days dapat maansira na niya ang question. Then mag-meet sila dito para na atay preliminary investigation pud, no? Against sa suspect. Okay? Now, kinakailangan ang complaint or information ay sufficient or enough, no? If it states the name of the accused, kailangan syempre address yun nato kung kinsa ang nakasala sa atua, unsa ang klase nga sala, probably, no? It's either theft, robbery, depende. And the acts or omissions complained of a constitution the offense, the name of the offended party, kinsa ang nasadaan or kinsa ang katong aggrieved party, no? The approximate time of the commission of the offense, syempre banabanaon nimo siguro mga alas 2 sa kadlawon or unsa ba, and then where is the place, asa ang lugar, and partiality of the prosecutor. So if a prosecutor again mag-refuse to file information to the court or did not include a person as an accused therein, despite the fact that the evidence clearly warrants action, the offended party has the following remedies, no? If dili niya i-file ang information sa korte, no, sa katong complaint, mahimo na siya information if ihatag na siya sa korte, no? Information na ang tawag ana. Unsa daw ang dapat dabuhaton? So we have here, no, if gi-abuse ni prosecutor ang iyahang pagka-duty sa public servant, pwede siya mag-file og action for mandamus. For what? To compel the prosecutor to file such information in court, no? So, kaning mandamus, gikan ni siya kay korte, gina-order niya nga buhaton nimo imong trabaho. And 1.2, the accused may lodge a new complaint against the offenders to the court, having jurisdiction over the case and have a new examination conducted as required by law. Kung dili siya tagto ni prosecutor, din anong mangyayari? Pwede siya mag-file na pod again ng complaint, no? Sa same gyapon nga court or same nga prosecutor's office, but kinahanglan na gyud kanang tan-awon na gyud dito ano kung sakto ba gyud ang mga ebidensya or dili, okay? So we have here, no, mag-appeal ka sa Secretary of Justice, no, sa Secretary of DOJ, no? Syempre, pwede man niya ingnon si prosecutor, pwede man niya itap nga, uy, prosecutor, unsa man ni akong nadunggan nga, wala man nimo gitarong. Pwede lang niya istoryahon, no, to review and handle the case, no, sa katong kaso iyang gigunitan, kay ngano wa niya gipasaka ang kaso. And then we have here, the offended party may institute administrative charges against the erring prosecutor. So, pag dili na gid sa matap, pag di na gid sa masturyahan, so we have the worst case is to file an administrative charge against the prosecutor na atong gi-discuss a while ago. So, pwede kay na siya, no? And he may file charges under Article 208 of the RPC, which is dereliction of duty or wala ka nagtrabaho sa imuhang duty, no? Pwede ka ni siya. And he may file a civil action for damage under Article 27 of the new Civil Code, which is refusal or neglect in the performance of official duty. So, mo ni mga kaso nga pwede nimo nga ipasaka sa prosecutor kung dili niya i-file ang imuhang kaso nga naay mga probable evidences or sakto nga mga ebidensya. As well as, he may secure the appointment of another prosecutor. Kung di ka gusto mong pasakag kaso, imuha na lang ipabalin sa laing nga prosecutor. And he may institute another criminal action if no double jeopardy is involved. No, anong ibig sabihin? If kanang dili gid siya, you can file a criminal action against the prosecutor. Okay? And that was the end of the intro Philippine criminal justice system and of CRE 121. This is Miss Malaya teaching. So everybody, that was the end of our lesson. No, so okay, for that student Kristen May Mamak, that would be answered on your criminal laws. I will not answer that because that is a tricky question. So you just wait for your criminal law or you ask a lawyer's opinion on that one. No, so I will not touch that one po.
Okay po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay,
Thank you po.
that was everybody my lesson. So please try to open your camera so that we can take our photo documentation for this afternoon. So nasabtan ba ang lesson for this afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
So puro basics lang ato ang lesson for this afternoon. Background lang siya ba, no? Okay, everybody, on 3, 2, 1, smile! Again, thank you for attending this afternoon's class. I hope you've learned something from me. I will see you again on Wednesday. I have a quiz for you tomorrow for the week 1 to 3. Please answer that one. And goodbye, babush, paalam, and see you on Wednesday. Have a
Bye,
happy
ma'am.
afternoon Monday. Bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of the day po. Keep safe, everybody. Bye-bye.